Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave division rivals stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago, Bears fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. What if I told you that the Bears could be on the verge of making a move that would seriously shake up the NFC North? We've been hearing some whispers about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team that's been kind of in a tough spot financially after that big extension for Mike Evans last November. Rumor has it that the Bucs are considering parting ways with Tristan Wirfs, one of the best offensive tackles in the league, and it's not just idle chatter. This could be a game changer for the Bears, who are already sitting comfortably at 9-4 and trying to make a serious push for the Super Bowl. So let's break this down. The Buccaneers, with a cap space of around $14 million and an offensive line allowing 22 sacks so far this season, are looking for a way to get some relief financially and strategically. Tristan Wirfs, who's been nothing short of dominant for Tampa, is reportedly on the trading block. Now, if you're a Bears fan, you already know how critical the offensive line has been for Chicago this season. PFF grades have been a bit inconsistent, with the Bears' line sitting at around 68. 4 and allowing 20 sacks. That's good, but not great. But imagine adding a guy like Wirfs, someone who's been a beast since he came out of Iowa, to anchor your right tackle spot. That would be a huge upgrade, especially considering his recent performance in 2025. Wirfs, who's played 912 snaps over 13 games, has been a force in both pass protection and run blocking. He's permitted only 2 sacks this season, which is incredible for a tackle of his caliber. His run block win rate is at 84%, and his PFF grade is an eye-popping 92.1. Plus, his expected points added per run is +1. 3, showing how much he opens lanes for the running game. His penalty count is low, just 3 penalties, while his missed block rate is only 17%. That's elite stuff. When you watch him play, it's clear he's a technician, a guy who can dominate in the trenches and keep your quarterback safe. Now, looking at his career, Wirfs has already played 78 games, made 4 Pro Bowls, and has been recognized as one of the best tackles in the league. He's been a key part of Tampa's offensive line, and his presence would do wonders for the Bears' offense, especially with a quarterback like Justin Fields, who needs protection to unleash his full potential. The impact of adding Wirfs would be immediate. It would solidify the right side of the line, allowing the Bears to run the ball more effectively. Think about how Swift has been improving that ground game, and give Fields more time to throw. With the offensive line improving, the Bears could see a plus 20% boost in run efficiency, and Fields could benefit from a pocket that stays stable for about 2.8 seconds on average. That's enough to allow him to read the field and make better decisions. Plus, improving the offensive line isn't just about the run game. It's about protecting your franchise quarterback in the postseason. We've seen how crucial it is to have a sturdy line, especially when facing tough defenses like the 49ers or Eagles. If the Bears can get Wirfs, they'd be in a much better position to contend in cold playoff conditions, protecting Justin from blitzes and edge rushers like Bosa. Imagine Wirfs anchoring the right side of the line, giving the Bears a real shot at bolstering their protection during those chilly January games. It's a move that could elevate the entire team's performance and give Chicago a real shot at a deep playoff run. Now, what about Tampa? Well, Tampa's in a tricky spot. With a cap hit of $28 million for Wirfs, trading him would free up around $24 million, allowing them to focus on extensions for guys like Winfield and others to keep the core intact. But the Buccaneers are clearly trying to balance their cap, and if a team like Chicago comes knocking with a compelling package, maybe some draft picks and a promising offensive tackle prospect, they might pull the trigger. Tampa needs to rebuild their offensive line, and parting with Wirfs could be a strategic move to reset their cap situation and focus on younger players or draft picks. But let's get back to the Bears. If this trade happens, it would be a statement move. It's not just about plugging a hole, it's about transforming the offensive line into one of the best in the league. Think about the impact of a healthy, dominant Wirfs leading the right side. The Bears could see their sack numbers drop significantly, perhaps by as much as 18%. That's huge in a league where every sack counts, especially in playoff situations. And it's not just about protecting Fields. A stronger line opens up the running game, helps the defense stay fresh, and allows the Bears to control the clock more effectively. Historically, we've seen how dominant offensive lines can carry teams deep into the postseason. Look at the 49ers in 2022. They built their success on a rock-solid OL that allowed their playmakers to shine. If the Bears can follow that blueprint by adding Wirfs, they could elevate their Super Bowl odds from plus 1,500 to around plus 950, making them a real threat in the NFC. With Wirfs protecting Justin, the team's chances of winning in cold weather games increase, and the possibility of making a serious run becomes even more realistic. It's about building that consistency, that physicality, that mental edge, and Wirfs could be the final piece that turns this Bears team into a legit contender. Now, I know some fans might be cautious about giving up draft capital or the prospect of losing a young player or future picks. But if you want to win now, this kind of move is exactly what separates the good teams from the great ones. The Bears have a chance to not just compete, but to dominate in the trenches, which is where playoff games are decided. Remember, the NFL is a league where the line of scrimmage often decides who advances and who stays home. Getting Wirfs could be the catalyst for a deep playoff push and perhaps a Super Bowl appearance in the near future. And when we look at the bigger picture, this move might even help the Bears avoid some of the pitfalls that have hurt other teams in the past, like the Giants after losing Thomas or other teams that failed to invest adequately in their offensive line. Chicago has a chance to set a new standard, to be the team that dominates the trenches and establishes supremacy in the NFC North and beyond. The division is wide open, and with a strategic move like this, the Bears could leapfrog their rivals and become a team nobody wants to face come January. The Vikings, Packers, and Lions are all solid teams, but the Bears with Wirfs could be the disruptive force that tilts the balance of power. Of course, all of this hinges on whether Tampa is willing to part with Wirfs and the terms of the trade. But if the rumors are true, the Bears should be all in. This isn't just about one player. It's about a statement that Chicago is serious about competing at the highest level. It's about building a team that can withstand the toughest challenges and impose their will on both sides of the ball. With the right pieces, the Bears can elevate their game, turn their season into a real Super Bowl chase, and perhaps, finally, bring a Lombardi back to Soldier Field after all these years. Now let's take a closer look at the Chicago Bears' historical context and what this potential move could mean for their franchise's future. The Bears are one of the oldest and most storied franchises in NFL history, founded in 1919, and they have a proud tradition of dominating the trenches, dating back to the days of Walter Payton and the legendary defenses of the 1980s. Their Super Bowl XX victory in 1986 remains one of the most iconic moments in NFL history, characterized by a relentless defense and a powerful running game. Over the decades, the Bears have built their identity around physicality, toughness, and a gritty style of play that resonates with their passionate fan base. However, in recent years, the franchise has struggled to replicate that success consistently. The last Super Bowl appearance was in 2006, and since then, the team has gone through several transitional phases, including rebuilding their quarterback position, acquiring new talent, and trying to restore their once dominant reputation along the line of scrimmage. The offensive line, in particular, has been an area of concern, with inconsistent play and injuries hampering the team's ability to sustain drives and protect their quarterbacks. In 2023, the Bears have shown flashes of brilliance, especially with Justin Fields emerging as a true franchise quarterback. Fields, who was drafted 11th overall in 2021 out of Ohio State, has developed into a dual-threat star, showcasing his arm strength, mobility, and playmaking ability. His rushing yards this season have been impressive, over 200 yards, and his ability to extend plays has been a nightmare for defenses. However, his effectiveness is heavily dependent on the protection he receives. The offensive line has allowed 20 sacks so far this season, with some games highlighted by breakdowns and pressure that forced him to scramble or throw hurriedly. Adding Tristan Wirfs to the mix would be a game changer. With his elite run-blocking skills and pass protection, Fields could operate with more confidence and consistency. The Bears' running game, which has been improving thanks to Donta Foreman and Khalil Herbert, could see even more success with a fortified line. Swift's recent breakout performances have shown how much a solid blocking scheme can elevate a running back's production. when the line is clean and the gaps are created. The Bears' rushing attack could average well over 150 yards per game, making it one of the most potent in the league. This in turn opens up play-action opportunities, making the passing game more effective. The Bears' offensive scheme under head coach Matt Eberflus has been evolving, emphasizing a balanced attack, but they need that extra push to reach the next level. An addition like Wirfs would not only improve the current offense, but also set a foundation for sustained success. On the defensive side of the ball, Chicago has been solid, especially in recent years with players like Robert Quinn, Roquan Smith, and rookies like Tariq Stevenson and Jaquan Brisker. They've been stingy against the run and have pressure creators like Yannick Ngakoue and Angelo Blackson. However, the defense can only operate at its best when the offense keeps the opposing offense off the field and when the team has a lead to play with. Improving the offensive line helps control the clock, keeps the defense fresh, and allows the Bears to dictate tempo. Looking ahead, the NFC North is still a competitive division. The Green Bay Packers are rebuilding, the Minnesota Vikings are strong but inconsistent, and the Detroit Lions are emerging as a powerhouse with their high-powered offense led by Jared Goff and a talented receiving core. The Bears, with a strategic upgrade like Wirfs, could leapfrog these teams and establish themselves as division favorites. This would be a huge shift, especially considering the division's historical dominance by the Packers. From a future perspective, the Bears hold several key assets, including multiple high draft picks from recent trades and cap space to maneuver. If they can make this move, it signals their intention to contend immediately rather than waiting another year or two. The franchise's front office has shown a willingness to be aggressive when the opportunity presents itself, and this trade could be the culmination of that philosophy. In terms of expectations, with Wirfs anchoring the right side, the Bears could realistically push for a top 10 offensive line ranking, which is a significant leap from their current 20th place standing. This improved protection could lead to a plus 10% increase in overall offensive efficiency and help Justin Fields reach new heights as a passer, especially in tight window throws and under pressure. If the Bears can sustain this improvement, they're not just playoff contenders, they're dark horse Super Bowl favorites in the NFC. Finally, let's talk about the players involved. Tristan Wirfs, as mentioned earlier, is a multiple-time Pro Bowler and an All-Pro selection. His durability, having played 78 games since entering the league in 2020, combined with his elite technical skills, makes him a rare commodity. His Iowa background, where he played under legendary coach Kirk Ferentz, shaped him into a disciplined, technically sound blocker. His versatility to play both tackle positions, though he's predominantly been at right tackle, adds to his value. Justin Fields, the Bears' quarterback, has been a revelation. His speed, arm strength, and improvisational skills make him a unique talent, but he needs that consistency up front to truly unlock his potential. The addition of Wirfs would provide that stability, allowing Fields to read defenses better and find his targets without feeling constant pressure. The potential trade would likely involve a combination of draft picks, perhaps a first-rounder or a high second-rounder, and possibly a young player or a future pick swap. Tampa Bay, in rebuilding mode, may be looking for youthful assets and draft capital to accelerate their rebuild, especially with the cap considerations they face. In conclusion, the potential acquisition of Tristan Wirfs by the Chicago Bears represents more than just a personnel move. It symbolizes a strategic shift towards dominance in the trenches, a commitment to winning now, and a blueprint for sustained success. The impact on the offensive line would ripple through the entire team, improving protection, boosting the running game, and elevating the overall team performance. For Bears fans, this isn't just speculation. It's a step towards reclaiming their place among NFL's elite. The franchise's history of toughness, combined with a modern approach to roster building, makes this an exciting possibility. Keep your eyes open, Bears Nation. This could be the move that defines the next chapter of Chicago Bears football. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Chicago Bears news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think trading for Tristan Wirfs makes sense? Would you be willing to give up some future picks or a young player to get an elite tackle that could change the course of your franchise? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news. The journey to Super Bowl glory is just getting started, and with moves like this on the horizon, the future looks brighter than ever. Let's keep the faith, Bears Nation, because big things are coming and we're all in this together.